Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 1. In this occasion, we will present a story. The title is Yellow Wallpaper. There are 5 people in here. The first is me, Fitri, and then Yunika, Naili, Anjani, and Ali. So, we will talk about the summary of the story, and then we will talk about the genre and the moral value. Okay, the first is the summary. The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, published 1892 in the New England Magazine. This work or story is considered an important early work of American feminist literature because of its illustrations of attitudes towards the mental and physical health of a woman in 19th century. This story was written by a woman whose husband, John, is a doctor. He had rented an old house for the summer in a village. In this story said that the reason why they moved to this house because of John's work and also as a treatment for the narrator or John's wife. 2 weeks have passed. The narrator feels significantly worse. John is away most days, and she is alone in the atrocious nursery. She's frustrated with her husband. She's frustrated because her husband cannot understand how much she is suffering. Actually, the narrator feels depressed, but she was forbidden to express it. John just told her to take medicine, take a walk to breathe fresh air, and prohibit her from doing work that is too heavy. Actually, the narrator doesn't feel sick, so she doesn't have to do that routine. The narrator chooses to writing rather than do her routine like John's advises. She loves writing, fantasize, and imagination. But it is forbidden by her husband. The new problem show up when they move into another room in the house. In this story, this room is a former nursery. The wallpaper is peeling and it have ugly pattern and have a color gross yellow. She also feels that there is something strange about the wall, and when she watched the wall, it looks like there is a figure or a woman behind the wall.
Okay, in here, I wanna to continue the yellow wallpaper. The narrator feels almost too weak to write, but she needs to express herself in some way to find life. She tries to convince him to let her leave the house and visit her cousin, but cries and cannot finish. The narrator finds one positive side to living in the nursery. It means that her baby is not exposed to the horrible wallpaper and can be happy and well. She has stopped mentioning the wallpaper to her husband and Jenny, but she watched it more and more closely. She can make out the team figure behind the pattern more clearly now. It is the repeat sum of a woman stooping down and creeping around. The narrator described an attempt she made to discuss her case with John the night before. As the moonlight crept in the windows in her memory, the narrator tells John that she wished to leave the house. He objects to this notion, which he views as silly since there are only 3 weeks left on their lease and she seems to be recovering. She tries to insist, arguing that while she may be better in body, her mind is suffering. His tone shifts from the indulgent scolding of a child to a stern command not to entertain such a false and foolish fancy. After the argument is over, the narrator lay awake for hours staring at the pattern in the wallpaper. The narrator tells on the irritation lack of regularity in the wallpaper, which divides her like a bad dream, resembling a fumus. She explains the wallpaper secret. It changed as the light changes. The narrator has been staying in bed even more, and John encourages her rest by making her lie down for an hour after each meal. The narrator is beginning to discuss but both John and Jenny and suspect that it's the wallpaper's fault. The narrator once caught Jenny with her hand on the wall, and she believes that Jenny is her rival in studying the pattern. Okay, the story will be continued by my friends. Thank you.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, I want to discuss the following summary of the Yellow Wallpaper story. His John's wife makes discovery. The front patterns doesn't move because the mysterious woman shakes by the crawling around fast and shakes a bar formed by shadows. She is trying to climb, but she can't escape from the scrambly patterns. She poured out her feelings that she a mysterious woman who out of the wallpaper, and she creeps in the world at the day. She looks the room so that Jones will not suspect her because he wants to spend her night alone with the mysterious woman. She decides to remove the top of the patterns alone with the mysterious woman. She decides to remove the top of the patterns alone with the mysterious woman. She decides to remove the top of the patterns alone with the mysterious woman. She decides to remove the top of the patterns alone with the mysterious woman. She decides to remove the top of the patterns alone with the mysterious woman. She decides to remove the top of the patterns alone with the mysterious woman. She decides to remove the top of the patterns alone with the mysterious woman.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alif Silo, NIM 2519097. Di sini saya akan menjelaskan genre dari kisah The Yellow Wallpaper. Kisah ini bergenre horor. Singkat cerita, ada pasangan suami istri yang berlibur musim panas. Tidak hanya berlibur, sepasang suami istri ini juga mengobati penyakit yang diderita oleh si wanita. Suatu hari sang wanita ini merasa dirinya itu ditakut-takuti oleh sosok yang ada di balik wallpaper kuning di sudut rumah tersebut. Wanita ini terus-terusan ditakut-takuti oleh sosok yang di wallpaper tersebut, hingga pada akhirnya ia bertekad untuk mencari tahu tentang apa yang sebenarnya ada di balik wallpaper tersebut. Dan akhirnya ketika tiba saatnya, sosok perempuan yang biasa ia lihat selama ini terlihat sedang melihat di balik wallpaper yang ada di hadapannya. Sosok itu seperti sedang berusaha keluar dari wallpaper yang membatasi dirinya dengan dunia luar. Dan dengan sedikit rasa takut, si wanita ini meyakinkan dirinya untuk menyobek atau merobek wallpaper tersebut. Dan semakin lama ia pun semakin terobsesi untuk merobeknya. Namun alangkah terkejutnya ketika John pulang dari kantornya atau suaminya pulang dari kantor, melihat sosok istrinya tersebut merasa dirinya tidak beres. Dan terbongkarlah bahwa si wanita tersebut selama ini adalah yang dibalik di wallpaper kuning tersebut. Sedangkan istrinya itu dia di balik wallpaper tersebut. Jadi tertukar. Yang tadinya selama ini sosok perempuan yang selalu mengganggu istrinya, terus menerus itu di balik wallpaper, sekarang istrinya itu yang di balik wallpaper atau bertukar tempat dengan sosok yang di balik wallpaper itu. Dan akhirnya John mengikhlaskan istrinya di balik wallpaper dan susah untuk mengeluarkan istrinya kembali. Dan yang selama ini di balik wallpaper kuning itu, dia sangat senang seperti seseorang keluar dari penjara. Wanita tersebut itu merasa senang sekali.
Okay, now I will tell you the moral value of the yellow wallpaper story. The moral value of the yellow wallpaper story is that women need a creative freedom. For example, in terms of writing and express intelligent stimulation, which is sometimes it is far more important than just doing conservative domestic tasks. For the author, writing is a process of healing psychological illness suffered by women because it is part of healing process of catharsis. If you look back, the yellow wallpaper is believed to be a record of the experiences of the author Charlotte Perkins Gilman by many literary critics. This story was written around the year 1890 up to 1892 when she had to go through a series of difficult time experiences, nervous breakdown, which ended in a decision to separate from her husband in order to healing herself. She also continued her life journey as a lecturer on gender equality, financial independence for women, and about writing. The storyline of this story does feel horror, but basically, this is the one of the uniqueness of the story. In addition, the main character of this story also doesn't have a name. Gilman makes the main character an anonymous narrator. This is the symbol that, not infrequently, women do not have a place to actualize themselves, so that no one can finally recognize them as free and complete individuals. That's all from me, from my team too. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.